I'm trying to show you that these things are repeating with a level of precision, consistency, and continuity that is outside the scope of what would be reasonable in this industry. And that should be encouraging. It should be very encouraging. And if it can be like that for me, and it can be like that for my students, then it can be like that for you too. But you have to do what? You have to show up every day, and you have to go through the motions like everybody else that's making big money with this stuff. They didn't learn it right away. They floundered with it. They hemmed and hawed and thought, oh, well, I'm probably going to quit. Everybody feels like that once in a while. It's like exercising. You think you're going to get the 21-inch guns just because you started working out 3 weeks ago. But I'm drinking protein shakes. It takes time, man. And this is no different. It's actually it's way different. It's really harder because you're competing with your expectations that are many times unrealistic, which is the reason why I teach you to do very low-hanging fruit objectives. 5 handles is easy, folks. Easy. How many times have you sat with a live stream and said, okay, it's going to do this, it's going to be 5 handles, boom, it delivers it. Okay, it's going to go down here, boom, that's going to be 5 handles. 5 handles are all over the place. I mean, you could be making 20 handles a day in a market that ain't seeing sustained one-way runs of 20 handles. It's just back and forth. But it takes time to get there. Are you willing to give yourself that permission to develop over time? Because sometimes you aren't. Some of you listening haven't really given yourself permission to take the time that's required for you uniquely finding your own model, not trying to keep up with your friend on social media circle. The guy that put you into trading, you want to catch up to him, or your girlfriend that's been, starting the same time as you. She's understanding a little bit more, and you're trying to keep up with her. That's not how you're supposed to be doing this. If you're competing with someone else outside of yourself, you're doing it improperly, and that's a market truth. You can't do those things and grow, at a normal growth rate without having performance anxiety, regret, remorse because you can't keep up with someone else. I mean, you've seen me do many times, several instances of over 100 handles, 80 handles, 50 handles when the market's moving like that. But what am I teaching you? Am I saying go after those moves like that? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying go in, look for 5 handles. Because every session, London, New York AM, lunchtime, New York PM session, all of them have an opportunity for you to go in there very, very easily and pull out 5 handles. Every single session. Every single one of them. Now, is that me inviting you to go out there and do that? No. It just shows you that you have an open field of opportunity where you can just go out there and take it by force. When you know what you're looking for, how to anticipate it, how to stalk your prey, and know when it's going to show up. When you're a hunter, I can't hunt. I just can't bring myself to do it. I guess if I got hungry enough, I'd go out and kill something, right? But hunters, they go out and they buy these trail cams, and they put it up and they leave it out there for a week or so, and then come back and download it and see if there's any deers coming around. And it tells them the time and the date and when they see them. So then they know what? They have an inside advantage that they need to put their tree stand up, hours before this thing usually comes through, and they just wait around for it. Okay? Well, that same thing happens when you see what it is I'm teaching. I've already set these trail cams up. They're windows in trading. The kill zones. I know the macros is going to happen. I know what the market's going to do. I know when the price is going to spool. I know what liquidity is going to reach for. And I'm not talking out of my ass because I'm proving it on Twitter, live in tweets that can't be augmented or changed. I'm not deleting anything, and you see it in the live streams. Live, right over the 1 minute candle. That should be building confidence in you. And I love seeing the students that are seeing at the end of the live streams are like, I felt amazing watching that. I felt so comfortable watching how price was moving. And you would say it was going to do this, and it did it. And then you would expect it to do that, and it did it. And then it delivered the next thing you said. That is not randomness. That's not randomness. And it should be very comforting that you're in good hands. You're with somebody that has the ability to transfer this information to you. Just look around. There's people making lots of money with it. Does that mean you're going to go out and make lots of money with it too? Probably not. Because you're going to mess it up if you don't listen. We all do that. But you're growing in your understanding about it. And these elements of time, coupled with liquidity, coupled with inefficiencies and repricing to make them efficient, meaning a fair value gap gets repriced to. So it's no longer one candle holding all of that price action alone. It's now been fortified by a redelivery of opposing market delivery. So a down close candle, that's a fair value gap. We have an up candle trading up into that range. So now we have a repricing. Once it leaves that range and goes away from it, then it's rebalanced. What is it going to look for then? An opposing pool of liquidity, or an opposing array that is inefficient that needs to be made efficient. How hard is that? That's not hard. It's very easy. It's not complicated at all. What makes it complicated is you want to know the daily bias every single day flawlessly. That's the hang up that most of my students have coming into me and asking me to teach them. If you could just teach me a real simple 5-minute video on how I can know the bias, then I can do the rest. No, you'll lose money. You'll lose money. You'll do it. You'll go in there and you'll rush to get in, or you'll wait for confirmation and it'll move too far, and you'll try to use a stop loss that isn't reasonable. It's going to pull back in a normal retracement, stop you out, which would be a new buy signal, but you won't see that because you're now upset. And then it market runs away and you think, oh, this is crap. Nobody makes money with ICT concepts. When it's you rushing to do something that you don't know how to do.